now we're ready to start adding color onto our images. We're gonna be using watercolor pencils. So for this step, they're gonna look just like regular color pencils. Our final step before we turn one of your images into a lantern will be to add water. So we'll talk about that when we get to that step. I have a few tips for you guys. I'll have them displayed in the classroom while you're working, and I'll remind you of them during each class so that you don't forget. First thing that I want to point out is when you are coloring something, you want to pick a direction that makes sense for whatever it is that you're coloring and stick to it. So for example, if I'm coloring a wave and it's kind of going up in this certain direction, I want to stick to that direction and continue with it for the entire thing, right? If I start kind of going all different directions, what happens is those marks will be visible, and it doesn't look so great. It looks really sloppy. So you really want to pay attention to the direction of your coloring marks. So you guys are in 6th grade now. You really want to start making your projects look better and better, and this is a really easy way to do that, right? So pick a direction and stick to it, and each individual object, you might color a little bit differently in a different direction, and that's fine. Like for example, this boat, I'm probably gonna go side to side horizontally for the boat. Maybe up here in this mountain, this is like supposed to be a kind of like farming. That's why all these little grids are, all these little vertical and horizontal lines. Maybe I'll go vertical with the vertical section, horizontal with the horizontal, okay? And then for the mountain, I'll probably stick to like a diagonal over here. I'll go, and then straight up and down here, vertical. I'll kind of go with the shape of that. Typically the sky, we stick to a horizontal coloring direction, back and forth, because the sky meets up with the horizon line, which is, as we know, horizon. The first part of horizontal is horizon, and so we want to stick with horizontal coloring marks in the sky, okay? If you're not sure which way to go, just ask, and I can kind of help you figure out. But there's not really a hard and fast rule for every single thing, so we can figure it out together if you're not sure. Okay, second thing is you really want to try to use the side of your pencil when you're coloring areas. You will use the point of your pencil if you want to add like a texture mark that's really going to stand out and be darker. You can use the point of your pencil for that. So let's say you're drawing something and you want it to have marks, right? Obviously like this, you're going to use the point of your pencil to create that. But if you're just coloring like the sky, for example, you want to use the side of your pencil. You're welcome to hold your pencil like I am here, or if you hold it like regular, you can still get to the side of it. Look at how different those two coloring marks are, right? Point versus side of the pencil, okay? Next one is to layer your colors and use light layers, right? So you can add multiple different colors in a given area. So I'm gonna start with my water on this one. And when you think of the color of the ocean, what do you think of? Raise your hand and I will pick somebody. You can tell me what you think of when you look at the color of the ocean. All right, I'm gonna take a guess here and say that many of you were thinking blue. Okay, I have, I believe, 3 different blue watercolor pencils. So you can use a combination of all 3 of these. You can use them alone, you can blend one into the other, and you can layer them, one color right on top of the other color, okay? You can also use some other colors in the ocean too. I might add in a little bit of purple. Maybe in some areas I want it to look like it's deeper, and so maybe I'll add in a little bit of black. I'll layer that in a little bit. Or maybe, sometimes the ocean can look green. Maybe I'll add in some different greens. So the more you layer colors, different colors for different objects, the more interesting and unique your artwork is going to look. So really take the time to think about that. And Hokusai doesn't always use the most realistic coloring for different things. Like for example, this mountain here is bright red in this artwork. Perhaps you do something like that, or maybe you have a bright purple mountain, or maybe it's purple and orange or something. You know, you can go nuts with color here. They do not have to be incredibly realistic. I'm just gonna kind of leave that up to you guys and your creativity. Okay, so remember, pay attention to the direction, apply light layers with the side of your pencil, use the point if you want to add texture marks, and layer multiple colors to add interest and be creative with those color choices. Okay, all right, so here we go on coloring. Also, you can test your colors in this extra space out here. We'll eventually end up cutting all this blank space off. So if you're like, I can't tell what this color is, I want to test it out, just a heads up on that. There is one watercolor pencil. It's this one right here. It's probably really hard to see on the video, but it looks like gray. But if you test it, and you look at the name on the side of it, it's actually a purple watercolor pencil. So just heads up, if you're not looking for purple on your project, you know, pay attention to that because it is purple. You can erase watercolor pencil too. It might not come off entirely, but you can lighten it so much so that if you put another color right over top, you know, so I just erased that. Look how dark it was, probably something like that. So feel free to erase if you make a mistake. And every single thing, guys, except for maybe some clouds, should be completely colored, okay? We're not leaving large areas white, maybe some wave sections, but I wanna see lots of awesome colors, okay?